Hello everyone, looks like we're live. Just trying to adjust my webcam to see if I can't make the screen a bit more visible. It's already zoomed in all the way and I can't really move it closer to me. Actually, I suppose I can. I just run the risk of backing my chair up into it. But big whoop. It's better than not being able to see the screen. Excuse me as I get this sorted. I already sent a tweet out, so I thought I'd start streaming and let you all tune into my fighting a tripod. That's pretty cool. Okay. You can kind of see that, especially if I can afford to move it a bit that way. Try not to get tangled up in my microphone cord. Yeah, I like the look of that. That's pretty good. What's this rope? Oh, it's part of my jumper. Excuse me. Okay, let's get set up. Still just talking to myself, so no worries. Cool. Still just waking up. It's before coffee AM, and I just wanted to jump on here and have a stream before I head out for lunch in 2 hours-ish. Now I've still got exactly 14 more tokens to draw, so this is going to be like a lightning round. Let's see how many tokens we can get done. Not done, in fact, but we're just going to get base forms down. So we're not going to go into as much details as this guy, but probably as much as this guy, or even that guy. Just going to go fast. So I'm going to start off with copying this guy, because I said last stream I wanted to make a oops, I'm on the wrong layer. I wanted to make a caster looking Sahuagin, some guy in like weedy robes, who's a lot skinnier than the rest of my wrestler Sahuagin. So we're gonna see how we go. Okay, so gonna be more upright. So I'm gonna put the head. Well, let's start with basic shapes. Let's not get into the trap of getting the lines right. Basic shapes. See teeth for. Okay, let's at least get teeth right. Welcome, viewer number 1. Nice to have you here. I'm not sure if there's any way on Twitch to see like a list of viewer names. Oh, there is. Is there? Or is that the follow list? No, that's my activity feed just gives me followers. I'll figure this thing out one day. We're going for the piranha face again, which means big jaws. Big jaws. He'll have strong jaws, but the rest of him, I want to be fairly lean. So he's not symmetrical. Let's at least get him symmetrical. Enough. Yeah. And then we've got the side eyes. A little bit of anger, a little bit of fire to them. Please excuse the aeroplane flying right past my window. What can you do? Actually, I like that one. Let's keep that one. If I knew my hotkeys, apparently my step forward button. Interesting. Shift Control Z. Okay, I can do that. And what I'm thinking, I'm just visualizing his body now. I think he's going to be pretty face on, since and I kind of like that low head, small head kind of look. Perhaps he can have a whole bunch of regal looking fins up here. It's kind of different cast. Hey JB Garrison, hey Ornbehoj, that's Orbenhosh, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Yeah, I should have shown off a couple of others. So we're doing a skinny version of this guy now with some priestly robes, that's the idea. Previously we've drawn the exact same guy. We have an underwater skeleton, we're going to draw at least 2 more of those. And we've got a big shark guy here. Alright, that was good fun. We have Sahuagin number 3, and we've got a hammerhead shark man, probably my favorite so far. And we have lobster, upright lobster creature. So following along with that theme, we're just building a set of 20 underwater monster tokens now. So if there's any underwater creatures you'd like to see, please mention them, because I haven't yet gone through the monster manual. I just know that I want 3 underwater skeletons, 3 underwater sahuagin. And that's all I've planned so far. So this guy's going to be super upright, like Abe from Hellboy. Some shoulders. You know what? I think this guy's just going to be a little bit different perspective. Perhaps even the mouth will change. So he's going to have shoulders coming out like this. Let's draw bigger. Shoulders. Probably have this same kind of bowing arms. The shape I'm going for, if we put a torso in, kind of skinny torso. I think most of his robes will be in like a kilt kind of deal. So I'll put something down here, and then just have some feet coming out. Maybe like quite a wide stance. Maybe throw off the symmetry a little bit somehow, somewhere in here. So he's still quite built up on his upper half, isn't he? And then his arms coming down, kind of akimbo. Yeah, because he's still like a monster creature, so a little bit of bulk won't go amiss. He's still nothing compared to these guys, right? Like by comparison, very different. Cuttlefish. Locathar. Never heard of those, so I'll have to look that up. Those words. I'm actually just a couple of years into playing D&D, and in all that time I've only played a homebrew setting, so I'm not well versed in my monsters, to my shame. Oh, I like this. It's kind of like a hussar looking fin, and it also throws off the symmetry, which is good, which is what I want. Maybe like a head one too. I kind of like the head one. I kind of like the creepy slick sculpt look though. Creepy piranha look. Yeah, right? What would a Sahuagin hussar ride? Probably an eel. Yeah, it has to be an eel. They've got the same creepy eyeballs. Big old eel. And the tail. I always forget about the tail until I've got no space for it. So perhaps we'll just have the tail come up here. I'm just drafting right now. No, that looks way off balance. Maybe the priest casts chop off their tail. That would be convenient. Or we'll just have up here that's kind of looks like it's coming out of his head. Or perhaps what we can do, give him an extra creepy look. Let me just try this. Excuse me, sir. Can I take your arm for a second? We're just gonna give him like a front arm. Make it curl in front. Just getting shapes right now. So I'm being very, very undisciplined with my lines. Just looking for a pose that we like, is what I mean. Bobbit. That's another word I've never heard of. Should I go do some D&D homework before I'm allowed to tag my streams as D&D? Yeah, right, shadow on the tail. I haven't ever put shadow on my tokens because I kind of intend them to be printed out alternatively. Well, we can stick a frill somewhere. But anyway, the purpose of me moving his arm was we could kind of curl the tail around here. Perhaps he's got a big weapon spike on it or something. What am I thinking of? Like a rockfish with some nasty spike. You know what? I think all we're going to do first is we're going to sketch out poses for all 16 of our creatures. And then later I'll come back and refine them all in one go. How do I feel about the arm? Does he need two front-facing, creepy, kind of like a little... No, that just looks strange. Like a little rabbit. Maybe it was just like this. No. Just that. Oh, Bobbit is a real-world nightmare of a sea worm. I didn't know that. But pretty happy with our Hussar Sahuagin. Perhaps I can do more. He's not quite as upright as I wanted him to be. I want him to be more like that. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. And then let's give him some of these muscles. The big bulky muscles that connect, like a big bulky neck. Oh, and we can sneak some gills in. Yeah, I'm liking how he's coming together now. Just got to keep throwing lines down until it feels right. Some shoulder gills, does that make sense? Not really. And we can bring our hussar fins up to here if we wanted. Pretty cool. Yeah, got to be careful not to throw the perspective off too much, but looks okay now. Yeah, exactly. I said at the start of the stream, before anyone tuned in, that I wanted to draw a Sahuagin that didn't look like a wrestler, but looks like I don't know how to do that. It's just going to be a wrestler race. I'm sorry. They're all wrestlers in my oceans. It's all the protein they eat, eating fish and stuff. Okay, so pretty happy with that. I guess when we get weapons, a weapon across here would look pretty cool. I'm thinking about where the eventual weapons will go, but at this point I'm not drawing weapons because eventually I'm going to have functionality in my token editor to custom place weapons and custom picked weapons too. So you could give them a trident or a big staff or a spear. Or what are hussars? Hussars? Am I pronouncing that right? What do they use? Pistols? Swords? I just know the wings. Sahuagin. It's a mouthful. Let me grab my token editor and paste it in Twitch chat because I feel like the Twitter crowd I sent the call out to won't have played around with my token editor yet, but it's pretty proud of it. If I can remember my URL, custom token. No? Yeah, here we are. Please excuse me. Hussars. Okay, if you're so inclined, you can all find my token editor in the Twitch chat, and you can play around with that. I have 40, I believe, hero tokens right now. And my project for the first half of this month, which is well past, was to make my first edition of monster tokens. So eventually there's going to be a bunch of Sahuagin and Ocean Terrors added to that list. And you can customize them in the same way you can custom pick their colors. Excuse me. And like war paint, perhaps. I haven't really decided. I think war paint. Does war paint work for a underwater race? Who knows? JB Garrison 72. I do have some things on Roll20, but it's far from the complete collection. If you just search by publisher, search 2 Minute Tabletop, and you'll find me. I'm in the process of adding everything to Roll20, but it's kind of on the back burner. I just have too many plates spinning right now. Okay, enough chatter. I haven't drawn in minutes. Unacceptable. So let's dive into another skeleton, because we've got 3 Sahuagin so far. The hard thing is making a skeleton that's distinct from this guy, because I'm kind of a man of habit and I just draw things the same way a bit too much. So maybe he's got an eye patch. Just playing with shapes at first. I'm going to try and use this template more so I can get the scale right. This guy's not to scale. I'm going to have to basically redraw him, but he was drawn during a YouTube video creation, so he did his job. We got some gnarly teeth. A big face hole. I'm going to have to shift all of this down just a tad, because I'm not being disciplined with my perspective enough. Also, his eye patch is far off. What's his eye patch doing over there? It's slipping off completely. Let's just boop that over here. Yeah, okay, we're just working on poses. We're not getting eye patches too right. Poses and just shapes, getting interesting shapes. Like this guy's got an interesting silhouette, right? That's kind of what I'm going for. And the Shark Man, he's got an interesting silhouette, interesting shape. That's kind of the first order of business. And then all the details such as eye patch placement will come later. Yeah, spots and stripes on the Sahuagin, definitely something. I'm thinking stripes, or like speckles like you see on piranhas. A big skull. We've got a starfish on the other guy, but maybe we can put a crack or something on this guy. Kind of makes me wince looking at that. Well, let's move your head up a bit. You can also be fairly upright. How are we looking for scale? It's pretty good scale. So I'm going to step away. I pretty much ignore these guides completely, don't I? So what's the point? Let's just wing it. Okay. Thinking like a several planks as a shoulder pad. Well, I'm going for the asymmetrical style of heavily armored one side and scarcely armored other side. It's kind of like a samurai pauldron. Let's get his base shapes down. Oh, he's got a bit of a tum. This is his shoulder, not his arm. Perhaps a bit big. Perhaps we should go for a completely skeletal arm on this side. So just a little boink with some bones, elbow, and a little skeletal hand, and a little scratchy claw down here. And he'll come back to you. And then on this side, he's got the opposite affair. Maybe like a spiky metal elbow plate, which would be facing down in this perspective. So I'll just give him a regular elbow plate. Excuse my coughing today. Some straps, maybe a big gauntlet. And then his sword will eventually go like that, or maybe a dagger. And then down here, what's kind of the story? What kind of story am I imagining for these guys? I guess if he's got a eye patch, he's a pirate. It's just the way things work. So, pirate pants. I guess those are just regular pants. Oh, but barefoot. He's got shorts and bare feet. Kind of something like that. I'm just putting like a central line down the middle because that looks enough like bone. At this scale, you're just trying to get a hint of a something through. Oh, peg leg, yeah, obviously. Do we want to go full pirate? That's pretty done. How much pirate did we go with this guy? Oh, he's got a hook hand. So yeah, I think these are pirate skeletons. Oh, and we should bring some kelp into the mix too. And maybe we should reduce the size of his cranium. My goodness, that just stood out to me now. I'm sorry. That looks very uncomfortable. Something like that. It's a little bit big. Pretty much my strategy is throw something down that looks good to me now, and then I'll come back to it in a few hours, and all the errors that are probably painfully obvious to you all will jump out at me and I can fix them real quick. Yeah, we can. I'm going to throw a peg leg on him. I can always change my mind later. Let's be a little more disciplined with the perspective. Something like that, and we'll drag his other one up like that. And then there's a lot in the balance that I'd like to change. Like if we throw his arm up here, that's pretty cool. Gives him a more interesting pose, and then we can throw this one in the other direction, or even up again, and then he's got like his back arched. Yeah, that's much more interesting. That's why I keep the lines very simple now, because I'm prone to ripping them to shreds. Perhaps a little skinnier. Like, what's creating all this bulk here if he's just a skeleton? Is it a breastplate, maybe? Maybe he's wearing a breastplate. Maybe like a bandolier. Something like there. Okay, let's move on. That guy is acceptable. Oh, one more skeleton I'd like to draw. How much pirate? It is a endlessly puzzling question. When I dress myself every day, I think about the same thing. Okay, this guy has to look different in the face somehow. How many skeleton faces can I draw? Should he be more zombified? Perhaps he should have an even bigger starfish covering his entire face, like a head crab starfish. Kind of like that. Ooh, like a head crab starfish caster type. Maybe if I was smarter, I would have. I'm trying to draw 3 of each of these creatures. If I was smarter, I should have drawn like a warrior looking one, a rogue looking one, and a caster looking one. Oh well, we've got. I guess can kind of be argued that that guy looks more warrior than this guy. Yeah, this guy looks like a rogue. This guy looks like a warrior, sure. That's what I was planning the whole time. Got some jawbones here. This guy, maybe this guy has kept his lower jaw. Keeping it deliberately asymmetrical. It's kind of big, isn't it? Kind of a small starfish, like it would still show his eyeballs a bit. Special stars. Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm trying to think. Do I want to go into tentacles and stuff with these guys, or is that a little too derivative? I think if people want underwater skeletons in this day and age, they're automatically looking for Davy Jones style ones. So maybe a big octopus latched onto his head. Is it a special octopus though? Clear. Just trying to recall what an octopus's face looks like. I think it's just tentacles. And then he's got a little strange ear thing. But we don't need that much detail. Let's just get the skull right, and then we'll figure out his placement. It's okay. It's maybe a tentacle. 2 here and 1 going around here, maybe? Or... Well, first of all, I think this portion is just a tad too big. Or, you know, let's just give him a little curly tentacle. Except that it's a different scale, isn't it? Octopi are not my... I haven't had much practice drawing them. Yeah. I think we do need the curl. We just have to figure out how to fit it in here. So let's be smart. Go down here, and then we can curl all the way around if he wants. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's an interesting shape too. And then another leg can just go out and around here. Have just a mess of legs on the back side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, we don't have too many legs. That's good. And hint at another leg. Yeah, but otherwise, pretty okay. I wonder if I should. Like a reference image wouldn't go amiss now, would it? Oh, I like the little nodule for his other eye. Yeah. See, I've just stumbled upon the solution. With a little brow line. Yeah, we've got an octopus. All it took was a little line, but now it looks 200% more octopus. Yeah, getting there. Yeah, it's definitely 8 legs. Yep, no argument there. It's more of that creepy octopus skull. Do they have skulls, I wonder? Or is it all just mush? Okay, it's like a wannabe illithid. When this octopus was born, he thought, I want to be like those humanoid variations of my kind. How can I do that? And then he found this skeleton. And maybe these tentacles are so long and they're just manipulating the whole skeleton like a puppet. Wow. Did I just come up with my next big bad evil guy? Maybe. I'm having so much fun with the octopus. I'm putting a lot of time into him. Kind of breaking my rules here. Oh well. Yeah, he's adorable. Look at him. Obenholz, thank you. One must understand the creature to properly draw it. Or you can keep puzzling with shapes until you happen upon it by chance. That's pretty much how we arrived here with this guy. Doesn't look like a very three-dimensional shape underneath him. So that's a step I'm going to have to take. How are we doing with scale? Kind of similar. I'm going to have to play with that too. I think let's just downsize the skull. Oops, excuse me. Just have a hint of teeth poking out the bottom. And then that'll do it, I think. Getting really caught up in this octopus, huh? Maybe our next token will be just a big octopus. I like him, he looks content, right? Maybe I want another leg in here, squeeze another one in. Okay, now I'm definitely breaking the rule. I'm getting hung up on getting the lines right. That is not the step we're undertaking now, but I like him so much I'm going to protect him on his own separate layer. Okay, cool. What layer are you on? This one? Okay, cool. Just in case I mince him later, like I did the other tokens. And then as for the rest of the skeleton, well, I said this will be kind of our caster archetype. So I don't want to go full illithid with him. Maybe more kelp. Kelpy. We'll get some kelp coming here. But be careful not to confuse it with the octopus legs. Just like a kelp shoulder, stylish kelp shoulder sash. Okay. Maybe it'll be symmetrical, like I guess octopus probably dressed him up, right? The octopus has carefully arranged the kelp on his shoulder. Maybe the skeleton has the name escapes me. Light sensitivity. So he's got his little octopus familiar to protect him from that. This is an awkward angle for my hand, but we've managed something decent there. And it's not perfectly symmetrical. That's good. This is starting to look like a Japanese salad. It says JB Garrison. Yeah, I haven't eaten anything yet today, so food is probably subconsciously on my mind. It does, really. If it weren't for the teeth, which you can just pass off as croutons or something, I don't know. Let's get some anatomy on him so he stops looking like a salad. But I like the mess of kelp. Maybe like a big... Well, let's get general shapes, because I was just talking about getting the pose down before we get into details, and then I went and broke my own rule moments later. Okay, so we've got his whole shoulder head situation going on. Let's take a look at our... What are my shortcuts? There they are. So these guys have very neutral poses. Maybe like quite a wide pose. No, let's go for the opposite, like a very straight. Basically this guy's pose, just a very upright, straight pose. Little feet. And a little bit skinnier. And give his body some more definition. So right now it's just a big lump. No, I'm going to steer clear of the Hawaiian shirt, but maybe we'll get a shirt with like an untucked portion here. Shorts, yes, we can do shorts. Maybe his arms are hidden under just a big cloak of kelp like this. We'll just pile the kelp on until it's a big cape. Perhaps it'll come down on one side more and then like frill out on this side. Yeah, let's play with that because this body isn't speaking to me. How are we going for time? Okay, we're okay. I've got about an hour left. I think we're not going to make it to 20 tokens, but we're making some decent progress. So I'll just heap up the kelp. Maybe even like around here. And it's not going to be as cluttered as up here. That's kind of the focal point, and the rest will be more simple. And then maybe this guy's just built. We've got wrestler Sahuagin. Let's have wrestler skeletons. And then kelp cloak down here. And then on this side, like a little threatening arm, probably holding a little knife. And then we can throw a leg out on, his body can come down here, and we can throw a leg out here. Yeah. I want to rotate Mr. Skeleton. He needs to be looking towards the action more. So something like that. Yeah. I'll sharpen up your lines later, buddy. Don't worry. Pants. And just a hint of leg, perhaps, over here. Or just a foot coming out here. And then this big shape here will be mostly bare of detail, but it'll be the same color as the kelp, and we'll kind of put some hints of the kelp in here. Thanks. Yeah, the best poses happen completely by accident. Just have to not get caught up in details too much, and because if I got too invested in Mr. Octopus and I started drawing kelp coming down here, then I would have been adverse to throwing it all away to throw a cape on him. So it's pretty good. Maybe something coming out like a hood. I like to throw hoods on my cloaks. Yeah. It's okay, isn't it? Not bad. Try a little harder down here. Okay, well, we've got the pose, so that means this guy's done. I think he's got a glove there. Doesn't really speak skeleton, does it? But I can remedy that later. Maybe his foot will be a skeleton. That's a pretty clear hint. Or his hand will have some claws. Hey, that looks nice. Again, completely by accident. Cool. Yeah, big guy. And I need to work on the three-dimensional look of his skull, because right now it's not three-dimensional. I think our octopus needs more curve on this tentacle, and probably more curve on this one too, like that. Is that a different layer? No? Yeah, we're getting there. We'll come back to you, mister. Okay, how are we doing? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's get at least another one done. Stretch. curve the teeth line. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Very good. Nice. Thanks for that tip. Okay, now I've stepped out of the realm of skeletons and sahuagin into the realms of, I'm not sure what I'm going to draw here, but I know I want some mounts for our sahuagin, such as eels and sharks. So maybe what I'll do, this guy kind of looks like he's holding the reins to something, doesn't he? How fitting. I'll create a layer down here. I'll tidy those layers up off stream sometime. And then I'll work out some kind of shape that would look decent if I just place it underneath one of these guys. At least get the scale consistent and figure out what an eel's head looks like. I think I'm going to need a reference image for this one. Bear with me. Eel. Ew. Looking for a decent. Ew. Ugh. Nasty. Okay, this guy's cool. Put him over here. Just to get the shapes right. Where was I drawing before? Here. So maybe gonna have to manipulate the perspective to show off the best sides of this eel. So maybe get the head coming over here. And it's got kind of a pointy snout, almost like a dolphin, I guess. But if we want to open his mouth up, it's going to have a line kind of through here. Very long mouth with some mess coming with his lower jaw going down somewhere around here. Let's tidy that up and see what it looks like. And I'll zoom in a bit for everyone's benefit. I'm much better at drawing trees and maps than I am at tokens, as you can tell, but people enjoy them, so I'm going to keep drawing them. And they're fun to draw, they're a nice challenge. Well, I don't know why I did that, so... Okay, well, he's going to need more mouth actually revealed. And he's going to need a jaw. You may be witnessing something that I just scrap later and pretend never happened. So, it's a nice behind the scenes look into my work process. Kind of this shape more here. I think when we put the eyeball on, that's gonna tie it all together. And if it doesn't, we'll do like our octopus and we'll keep playing around until it looks okay. Ooh, kind of looks like Barney the dinosaur with a really long neck. Okay, so eyeball kind of close to the jaw, huh? Put foot back. Kind of halfway along. I want some dangerous fury in his eyes, but we'll work on that later. It's something disturbing, but it's not an eel. Okay, we need more of a point to its nose. So oh, I can't see Twitch chat anymore. Excuse me. Biting down on a bit. Yeah. I want to go for open mouth, and if it doesn't work, then I'll try something else, but we'll try this first. Give it a red hot go. Okay, well this has to come longer out, doesn't it? I think I'm just getting a little bit of drawing fatigue. I need some nutrients and caffeine. Or perhaps I just spent all of my luck on that octopus. He came out well. He was the triumph of the day. That's good enough. One triumph. Yeah, okay, it's looking derpy, but it's looking eel derpy. Starting to look like the right sort of derpy. Now it just needs that fury that I was talking about. Just not too much. We want it to look like a mindless derp creature more than a thinking, furious thing. So just about that much. I think this eye. Oh yeah, then we need that brow. Just a little bit of brow, otherwise it'll look like a snake. It pretty much looks like a snake, doesn't it? Let's be honest. I've accidentally drawn a snake. Let's figure out where his mouth ends. This is why I shy away from making tutorials, because my drawing method is pretty much brute force it until it looks okay. And for me to now go on to make a tutorial about how to draw an eel, maybe I'd have something useful to say, but most likely not. It's very true, JB. Knowing that there's people watching me makes me pick up the pace and try to be entertaining with it at least a little bit. Do I like these wrinkles? Are the wrinkles good? But it's something I'll get used to, I'm sure. Ew. Ugh. Let's go back. Let's take the wrinkles back. Maybe later. Okay, well, as I was saying, don't spend too long on details, but get the pose right first. See, like the head slopes for a good long way, doesn't it? So I'm noticing the front, so it needs to come up and pretty much like up to here, right? It's kind of lumpy. We are drawing a fantasy eel, a dire eel, so I'm pretty okay with that. And then he's got a big thick body, so it maintains. So maybe we need a smaller face, because I don't want such a big body. So I'm gonna do some surgery here. Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. Okay, cool, nice. It's a quality commentary, Ross. Got like a scratch in my throat this morning too, which isn't helping. Okay, we've done it. We've stumbled across the eel with the same method as my octopus. We've just brute forced it, haven't we? And I want like a central line that goes here, and then we'll have a little belly come over here. Thank you. Yeah, hi guys, welcome to my latest YouTube tutorial. Today I'm going to tell you how to draw anything, and the secret is just keep drawing, keep moving your pen, and use your eraser sometimes. Actually use your eraser a lot, and at the end you'll have the thing you wanted to draw. Okay, please remember to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Wish Ghost, I'm glad it's not just me. I think I think most artists probably do it this way, but since the only artist media I consume is tutorials, people are only talking about what they, like a distilled process that they've developed, which is kind of the exception to the rule. Let's zoom out a tad and figure out where the rest of the body's going to go. Because it is supposed to be mostly a top-down token, so let's take a center line and figure out like that, maybe? I think so. Yeah, beautiful. And now we got to figure out like a sneaking, got to like bulge. I'm not so good with drawing the ribbon kind of shape. He's got a very distinct center line, doesn't he? There's basically a fin there. So I kind of like that look with the jaw. Like his jaw, there's more shape there, isn't there? Okay, that's good. Let's keep away from his face now. Needs to be a bit thicker here. This maybe he's got something in his gullet. I kind of like the look of a lump there, where he's bending dramatically. Then maybe it's going to come up like this. Still just getting the pose right, so I don't have to worry too much here. And then I need another reference image for an eel's tail. Does it just end? Oh no, it's got a strange fin to it. You don't need to see that. It's not strange, I'm sorry I said that, Mr. Eel. It's a perfectly normal eel tail. And come up here. Perhaps he's got like a magical, like an extra fantastical one. That's just so terribly messy, Ross. Just get rid of that. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Something like that in any case. We can hint at the fin somewhere in here. Maybe. Let's zoom out and see how I feel. Yeah, he's a bit of a stubby eel, but I'm sure dire eels, they grow more out, more, wider than longer. So, yeah. Look at that, after a lot of trouble on his face, we've succeeded. Is there anything more to an eel? Do they have little fins? They do. I see some eels have little fins on their sides. But this variety that I'm looking at now, I'm not sure. But even then, it's a fantasy eel. I don't need all the details there. Gosh, they're creepy things. I think when I add detail, you know what? I can't resist. I'm going to add some detail now. Need some teeth. this needs just a hint of little teeth here. Come on back over like this. Okay, they're not so little teeth, are they? These are enormous teeth. You can see why a sahuagin would bring one of these into battle. Kind of looks like a razor blade when I do that. Or do I want the creepy gum look clear? I kind of like the gums. Maybe it just needs smaller teeth. I mean, these are tiny little teeth. Yeah, it's just smaller teeth. Let's get some teeth in between these teeth. Okay, interesting. We might undo all that later, but for now the idea is there. Just one more tooth. Okay, yeah, pretty happy with our eel. Except that I'm gonna fuss over his teeth some more. Bear with me. Oof. A smart man would just make his eraser smaller. Too hungry. I'm too hungry to make my eraser smaller. Okay, cool, nice. I like it. Now we have to make a shark that compares. And then we can kind of picture the scale there. He's big enough to propel himself plus a sahuagin, right? Otherwise you can just scale him up. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Octopus. Okay, well, we can delete this and maybe bring up a new reference image for a shark after I scratch my back. Thanks. Yeah, I like our eel. I'm just going to move him out the way. It's a little bit in the way right now. Go sit up here. Okay, I'm going to find a shark reference image now. Shall we do a hammerhead first? I have like a weird fascination with hammerhead sharks. I just really love their shape. Super interesting to me. Yikes, they're really long. I think we're going to make a fantastically... Well, we're going to need a wrestler hammerhead to pull along these wrestler sahuagin, right? But we'll use this reference image. It's just about the same width as our eel, isn't he? Yeah, we're going to fantasticalize him. No, I can go there for now. Sorry, eel. Oh, actually, no, there's something over here, isn't there? Yeah, skeleton. So let's keep that down here. Excuse me while I fuss over small things. Where is Mr. Eel? I just want a semi-transparent eel down here for scale. And I'm quickly making much too many layers, aren't I? Okay, eel for scale. I'm going to need you, and I'm going to draw over here. And we're going to draw something that looks a bit like this shark, if all goes well. And if it doesn't go well the first time, we'll do it 100 times and we'll brute force it yet again. I'm beginning to see why my tokens take an hour each to do the line art, especially when I can't find my layer. Excuse me, this one's much too bright. Okay, where was I? Okay, head size. Well, let's just get the general idea in here. Maybe I should have drawn him under a sahuagin. Maybe I'll just do that anyway. Forget the eel. Forget all that fussing about the eel I did. I'm going to draw him down here. So I'm thinking like a head, really big head. It's got a bit of a bulge here. And then a big long body. Oh, excuse me. But it's going to be a bit foreshortened, so it's not going to be so immensely long. And I think we're going to put the tail over here. Please excuse me, everyone. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, I'm back again. My girlfriend was just coughing non-stop. I thought she was dying, but she says she's okay. So we were drawing a hammerhead shark. I wonder where, if you were to ride a hammerhead, would you sit in front of the fin? Surely. It's further back than I would have thought. Yeah, you'd sit around here, like a little saddle maybe. And so fin will be kind of here, and at this point we can hide our sahuagin and are we still drawing on the right layer? Yes. And make a better fin. That'll do for now. And then kind of the center line will be kind of like this. Yeah. Yeah, like that. That's good. Meaning the fin will bring down here. I like extra large fins on my sharks. And since they're fantasy sharks, I can make the fins as big as I want. Yeah. Well, anyway, his other fins. So he's got one, two, probably two if he's symmetrical. Right after that bulge, but before his dorsal fin. They're quite large, aren't they? And they're very triangular. I'm sure. Well, it's more like this, isn't it? I think this will probably be the last token we draw today. I'm going to leave in 25 minutes. Go get some lunch, since I've been complaining enough about being hungry and caffeine deprived. I'll go fix that. And I really do need to get on top of these tokens, so I'll probably start another stream in the afternoon. Right now it is 12:23 p.m. in my corner of Australia. So if you're still up, you might see another stream from me today. Where are you all from, by the way? Thank you, by the way, for all the input this stream. It does make it more interesting for future viewers and for me sitting here drawing to interact with people. He's got another little fin here, doesn't he? Just a little one. Very long tail. Gee whiz. Washington State, US. Such a beautiful place. I've been there once. I went to Seattle and I went across the Sound to like Silverdale and Washington State Park, which is still way up there with my favorite places in the world as far as natural beauty. And I've traveled all over New Zealand, so that's saying something. Okami Goddess is from Oregon. Excuse my pronunciation. Oregon is one of those words that I've read a billion times but never attempted to say out loud. I'm going to squeeze his tail together. I suppose it's a bit earlier in the Pacific Northwest, isn't it? Oof. Let's figure out his shape of his bod. Okay, 9:30 p.m. So that's a very reasonable time. So I've been thinking about that a lot recently, as what time to sit down and stream, because I'm well aware that 90% of the D&D players that visit my website are from the US of A. So I think like in the morning before my lunch, as I'm doing today, would be a good kind of regular scheduled time. I'm doing a lot of playing with the lines and not a lot of making useful lines. So he's got side fins. Okay, let's figure out the body. So following that center line, kind of like this, kind of like this. I did say we were making an extra big shark. Maybe not so big. Is he a bit too big? I think he's a bit too foreshortened. We need a bigger tail. This teeny little tail's not going to propel this big head, is it? Yeah, Wish Ghost, excuse me. Seeing as Ghost of Saltmarsh is out now, right? I thought it was the perfect opportunity to dive into some ocean-themed tokens. Since I wanted to, I've been meaning to draw monster tokens for a long time now, a couple months, and I've been putting it off because they take so long. As you can see, but I bit the bullet and drawing some nice ocean-themed monster tokens. It's a fun theme to start with, I figure. And after this, I'm thinking like undead or something fun. An undead army, like a necromancer's. Like a bunch of whites. I don't know. Maybe I should have timed that with the Game of Thrones episode. I'm pretty much rambling now, aren't I? As for his head, they've got a bit more of a nose. Just a bit. Just a bit. Having a hard time. Yeah, like that. And then we brush back on these lines. Still being very rough and disgusting with our lines. And then kind of more rounded over here. I should compare this with another reference image too, because it's a bit water distorted perhaps. But okay, how are we feeling? Some gills? Maybe. I guess the gills are here. Right, that's why there's a bulge there, because it's his gills. Yeah, that makes sense now. Gills are a good opportunity to make the thing look three-dimensional. These are a placeholder gills for later. But as far as scale, he's still a huge unit. Like I said, he's got to pull these units Sahuagin too. I like that it looks like he's standing on top too. That's pretty. That's canonically how my Sahuagin are going to work from now on. They just ride giant sharks like surfboards, and from their backs they throw javelins, fishing spears, and nets, and that sort of thing. Yeah. Oops, I've hit the wrong layer, and I'm lost. I'm lost again. I'm going to tidy up those layers sometime. But shark scale, pretty happy with him. He looks like a good buddy with the eel. Maybe the tail needs more of a crescent shape to it. I've drawn one other shark tail that I was happy with. This guy's tail looks good. As you can see, his lines are a lot thicker, and so are all these tokens. That's pretty much the next step for me, is first of all upscaling this guy so he looks like a human and not a halfling, and then just bulking up the lines so that it all looks like a set. Let's bring back all our layers, and we'll move our shark back down. Is that where our eel lives? Probably not. Let's just use a mouse. Come down here. Oh, I've chopped off our eel side. Yeah, you know what, you can sit there. That's okay. And we have an extra Sahuagin here. I'm just kind of cutting the fat. Don't need that arm necessarily. And we're done with the reference image, wherever I put that. I do all my layer discipline off stream, but trust me, it gets done definitely. Let's resize this guy while we're at it. I'm seeing that I only have, I'm only going to stick around 10 minutes, so I'm just going to do some tidying up. I'm not going to start a new token. Yeah, that looks right. We don't need that, that was for demonstration, but pretty cool. Good stuff. Let's do some big lines, big boy lines on our something. Some just testing, a bit bigger even. and play with. I think let's go back to maybe this guy, because I noticed a few changes I wanted to make to him, and I'm best to make them before I forget. So I wanted to join this bit so that it doesn't look like he's got a shell on his back. So he's still got a shoulder this way, but his arm connects to his back. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but it looks okay. He's got Sahuagin biology. Oh, and we were going to figure out something last stream to do with this arm. Are we gonna? Is this guy wearing any clothes at all? Should he be? The reference, all the Sahuagin pictures I look up, they've got clothes and stuff. We can break rules if we want to. Maybe it's just a nondescript gauntlet with a spiky end. And at this point I'm going to drag in from this layer. Who shall we use as a reference for line width? Who's a well-balanced token? I like this one. Here's another absolute unit of mine. Excuse me. It's like I've never used this app before. Okay. You can see how much thickness I intend to add to our lines. So you can see my tokens generally, I like big thick lines. I like lots of black areas, but for little details like the ear, we can get away with, or like the scar, thin lines. And really the game is just balancing thick and thin and dark and light and getting something that looks right. So I'll start by thinking which areas I want to cast in shadow. Yeah, the silhouette is very important. It's like his tail needs a lot of thickness added to it, especially the outline, but that inner line will stay thin. And this is that point where I'm playing around with all the lines we've been adding today and getting them all to have a purpose. Every line should have a purpose and not just be there for the sake of detail. And finally, we're at the point where I can fuss over my lines and just completely abuse the Control-Z button. And I like to add, I like square angles on my muscles. That's just a stylistic thing, I guess. And it looks like we're painting on the wrong layer. Yep, indeed, we are. So let's have some more squares, please. And in fact, these shoulders are really round. Like, is that a Sahuagin thing? Is that like a gland? Does this guy, oh, maybe he spits poison? And it comes from this big gland attached to his side? The underside of his tail should have some shadow. This is by far the most fun part because it's quite stressful getting the pose right, but once you got the pose right, the rest is pretty easy. And I don't know, there's something fun. Maybe I'm just a bit better at it, and so it's not so much effort, but thickening up the lines. There's just something cathartic about it. Like putting the finishing touches, like when gearheads wax their car. And maybe that's just a movie trope, I don't know. But I enjoy it. I enjoy this. Maybe not the most interesting part. Definitely much more fun, I think, to watch me blocking in real fast and dirty lines to get a pose right. So speaking of lines that serve no purpose, this one here doesn't seem to be anything. Neither are these. I think I was going for muscles, but if we just get the shapes right, the muscles will fall into place. Okay, what are we going to do about the gland-looking shoulders? We just need better shoulder shapes. Maybe the gills should be down here. Okay, I guess we're not completely done with getting the pose right. Build. Maybe it's just a freaky fish with strange shoulders. It kind of looks right enough to me. Spikes at the end of the elbows to help get through underwater tunnels, similar to triggerfish. What's a triggerfish? I want to see that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Creepy. They got little mouths. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, we could definitely do something more interesting with this gauntlet. We could have like barbs like this kind of evokes a sea urchin look. So that could match. We could even put some on this side too. Kind of like that. Yeah, let's keep that for now. I like it. Get a bit of shadow where the gauntlet is. Oh yeah, I was reading. Yeah, I definitely don't block in all the shadow on the line art, but I do block in a healthy amount, just so that the line art could stand alone, if need be. Do you want like big gills like this perhaps? Big blocky gills? Nah, a bit creepy. But more shadow down here. On his legs. I don't think we are finished at all with his feet. Those need some work. This is his big wrestler belt that I talked about last stream. Ooh, what happened there? Like a little beard. That's not bad. Yeah, unfortunately this guy's spread out over a couple of layers. Can I just merge these? Yeah, I can merge these. Oh yeah, JB, these are going into the token creator. Indeed they are. So pretty much I block in the color blocks and the line art and the shadow, but the colors will be completely up to you. with like a default too for people with no time. I was going to say something and it slipped my mind now. Oh yeah, so while I have quite a vocal Twitch chat, I'd like to ask if you guys like this webcam here with the over-the-shoulder camera angle, or if you'd prefer a face cam, because over-the-shoulder does seem a bit superfluous when it's just a blurrier version of what you're seeing on screen. The other option is like a face cam, which I guess I could turn and talk to if I had anything to say without demonstrating on the screen. It's a bit more personal, that's the main thing. Yeah, you're right. Like if I can't be bothered shaving one day, then I'll do the over-the-shoulder shot. But if I'm feeling pretty, then I can have the face cam shot. Yeah, I'll play around with it and see. And maybe I'll check out other art streams. I haven't done that yet. I do watch Borodante on YouTube, and he has kind of a cycling cam setup, but he's making YouTube videos, not Twitch streams. But yeah, he uses a lot of face cam, and I think I enjoy seeing his face, seeing the thoughts going through his head. And it's, yeah, more personable. And then some furry hand holding a pen. I'm not even sure if I wanted to keep these clawed feet or if I wanted to try something different. Can't really, I guess I could go for the webbed feet of the reference image, like that. How do we feel about this kind of foot here? Thoughts on a piranha beast? Yeah, over the shoulder, it's useful for seeing technique, but on the other hand, I don't have much technique to show off. Do you need a line or something? No. I'm feeling pretty good about him. We just need general thickness, some more shadows, like here, like a shadow under his chin, jaw. Something here. Maybe cast all that in shadow. Yeah, I kind of like throwing shadow across this whole side, like there's a spotlight shining down from this way. Yeah, it's smaller. I did delete my reference image of a Sahuagin, but he had big old web feet like a frog. But let me just amputate your foot and see what it looks like with a webbed foot. Excuse me. With a smaller one. It's kind of cute. I think it's going to look like a duck though. Like you said, it's going to look like a duck inevitably. It's more canonical, I suppose. Okay, we could put some claws on. That's like a compromise. Kind of looking like a bird now. Well, it's not bad. Not a spread could also work. But if we get less spread, then we're kind of going back to version 1 foot. Yeah, I kind of really dig this. Let's continue with that. And if we want to amputate, we always have this one. Let's keep your amputated feet over here in the corner, shall we? We'll have like a... This is really odd at this angle. And that curve, it does look like a frog, doesn't it? The reference image I had looks very frog-like, but I stepped more into the piranha sphere. Bonus token with the amputated version. Your toe just needs to be over here more. Maybe a smaller heel. Still drawing quick and dirty. More of a front-facing claw. The shadow here would do. More claw. Even more claw. Okay, well, you know what I need to do is just move this, get the outside line in, and then put a central line in again. Because I had the same foot in theory just now, but two different styles of drawing it, I guess. So let's get these good. Enough. And put the center line in there. And if we make this a bit longer, does that help with the duck look? Kind of. I mean, it's definitely more aquatic, right, than these vaguely dog-like feet. So yeah, I'm happy with the outcome here. Actually, it was fine the first time, wasn't it? Yeah. So we made a lot of progress. I'll probably update the other guys to have the same feet. But let me catch up with Twitch chat. Not a spread. Yeah, not a spread. Maybe I kind of like his akimbo look. Yeah, we've made a large stride towards being more aquatic looking. So maybe the shark dudes I'll keep in this style, but the strange amalgamation of aquatic creatures that are Sahuagin will look like this. Today I wanted to add those side frills to him too. That's something to think about later because it is lunchtime here and I want to take off. But yeah, we're getting along. We're getting there. It's looking good. I've got another bunch of tokens to fill out before our aquatic themed pack is ready, but even if it's all I put out this month, I shall get it done. Don't forget to save, Ross. No, in fact, I'm not a big fan of seafood, so I won't be eating anything fish-like, but I'm sure there'll be potatoes. Okay, thanks everyone for tuning in today. If you'd like to go back and watch the start, I'll leave the highlights up, or the replay, I mean. Otherwise, please follow my Twitch channel, and I'm sure you can catch me drawing something else at another time. Yeah, and thanks for being such a vocal Twitch chatter. It's been fun. Thanks everyone, especially JV Garrison 72, Guankles, Wish Ghost, and Okami Goddess. And I didn't miss anyone. Okay, thanks everyone. I'm off to have lunch. Bye bye. Have a good one. Ciao.